Paradise, Louisiana with Gary Risponi, Joe Macaluso, and Don Dubuque is brought to you by Aerial Access Equipment, the leader in aerial work platforms. Bass Pro Shops. Borden. If it's Borden's, it's got to be good. Brian Harris Chevrolet. Our trucks haul bass. Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. The Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores, Louisiana owned and operated. We have more than you expect. Dimco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go Devil Boats and the new Go Devil Surface Drive. Louisiana Fish Fry. Louisiana Land Bank. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Cash's Casino and Truck Plaza. Pro Pool Trailers and Central Hitch. Mastercraft Tires. And by Area Wholesale Tires with tire programs for tire dealers.
Hi, and welcome to this week. I think we're going to call this the duck hunting edition of Paradise, Louisiana. I'm Joe Macaluso.
I'm Don Dubuque.
And I'm Gary Risponi. And while you're talking about ducks, I haven't seen that many Ducks Unlimited banquets coming up, with the sponsor banquets, everything. All November's chock full. So we just want to remind everybody, go in your area. Check the paper, check your, the website. All your Ducks Unlimited this month is
Baton
probably
Rouge,
the most popular month around.
East and West Louisiana, all over South Louisiana.
And
lots of good spots up in Norfolk.
You know what's good? You not only go to one in your area, go one close, because you know it's amazing. Some of them have better deals than the auctions, and you can really get some great deals sometime in them auctions, and where you can't get them. So
well, one of the things I hope, and we've been talking about this pretty much all morning, is I hope ducks.
Well, that's a big question right now. Of course, we got some time between now and the opening, but not looking as good as we'd like, for sure.
Right. One of the problems we're having is not just in Louisiana, where there's a lot of water to spread out the ducks we have here. Hurricane Ida is blowing in on the coast this week, and we're going to wait and see what happens there, but I'm sure a lot of the coastal areas will have a lot more water in it than they expected. But it's up in the Midwest, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. I know you made a big trip down to Biloxi Marsh with a veteran, and this is Veterans Day.
It is, Veterans Weekend.
And Dutch Prager, I've fished with him before, many years ago. You made a trip with him last week. How's old Dutch doing?
Dutch is doing real good, man. We had a great time with him. When you go into Biloxi Marsh with Dutch, this is a guy for 70 years, and he kind of points out things the way they used to be and what was here, and as you look at it now. Just a great guy to be with. He's real good. And every now and then he's got one of those little quick wits he throws in there too.
Well, he's a true gentleman and a true gentleman fisherman.
And then me, I got, like you said, I got mixed duck reports. We did a youth hunt. 3 different locations we did hunt up in the Southwest, and I'm telling you, very, very mixed results.
Well, did the kids have fun? That's the big question.
They all had fun. They learned a lot. And, you know, some of them duck hunts turned to football games over at Hackberry, and we went other places. Kids were shooting pool and talking and going about the schools. In between watching football.
Pool do.
They shoot pool and then they shot pool do. That's the rest. We'll tell about that.
But the big news this week is we have another Louisiana angler going to the Bassmaster Classic. We're going to touch base with Cliff Crochet, qualified out of the Bassmaster Central Open last Saturday out of the Bell River Public Landing. Congratulations to Cliff. We're going to talk to him a little bit later in the show, go over a little bit about what those guys are catching down in South Louisiana bass-wise. There were some pretty good stringers brought. It kind of surprised me. I know 36 pounds is 12 pounds a day, but considering the conditions, I think what Greg had told me about some of the pro fishermen, they could catch fish in a glass of water if they had to.
Pretty exciting finish, too, by the way.
Very exciting finish. We'll touch on that.
Well, while you giving praise, I want to praise you, Frank, and Gary Krause, because, you know, the road all over. Thursday morning, he got up at 4 o'clock, rode down the Intercoastal, got all the takeoff, and then he waited all day for Joe to come in. Joe had to write his article. It was Thursday, had a wildlife and fisheries meeting. Joe brought you all the reports Friday, and then Frank and Joe, they missed the whole first half of the ball game.
Almost all the football game to see that.
And they stayed over there and got the
Speaking
interview.
of football, I'm mad. I'm just angry about, what is it with SEC footballs, huh? Man. We got to
You
do
know, we
something
might not have
about
won.
that.
We want to talk about it a little bit. I really want to talk about it a little bit.
Well, that's all right.
It
I'll tell
wouldn't
you
have
what.
made a difference in the outcome of the game, but it would have made a difference in the difference in the outcome of the game. But, you know, if coaches can't say nothing, you got Gestapo. How come the paper and them don't write it up?
No,
they scared they're going to take up the
did.
press.
No, they had a little-
the
they had a little
announcers
something in
even
the
started
paper
backing
on
up. First
Monday
they said,
now.
oh, there ain't no way going to turn it. But then they get quiet all of a sudden when they don't go the way they said they're going to do.
Well,
Why
that's
can't
okay.
they
I'm
tell
waiting for Mike Slive to send me a $30,000 penalty for the comments here. And Mike, if you want to send that, if you want to send that fine to me, send it to Joe Macaluso, 10 KMA Drive, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we'll go from
I
there.
thought they were going to say Gary Paradise, Louisiana.
No.
Yeah.
But I think you get the drift, I don't hear anybody from the SEC office apologizing to LSU today.
I think we ought to work out a performance-based contract with those guys.
Right.
Pay them for the job they do.
Well,
I might be looking for another
a
job.
little
later.
bit different approach. One of the things we're going to talk a little bit about, it comes from the commission. For the first time ever, they rejected the plan, the federal fisheries management plan in state waters. I think to talk about that at length on one of the future shows. So a lot of stuff coming out of this. I'm sure we closed the amberjack season. We announced that last week, and all the ramifications that came out of that. We know with red snapper season's closed. We know severely limit the catch of some grouper. So we're going to touch a little bit on that toward the end of the show, along with the Berkeley Abu Garcia fishing report. What is this?
I guess they're going to tell us about the duck report. You going to save it for
It's
the duck
called
report?
the tease. We're going to make y'all wait till the duck report.
Hey, that's
Find
it.
out why.
We'll be right back. We're at Bass Pro Shops in Denham Springs. Where I'm looking over there, I think they got the Christmas store.
Looking a
already
lot
set
like
up.
Christmas, huh? Somebody said that.
We'll be right back.
If phrases like this mean something to you, maybe you should come work. If you identify more with phrases like these, then maybe you should put us to work for you. The Mastercraft LSR Touring.
I now hope they're fighting today.
I hope they are. Put a Dorito on here. Put 'em loose.
I got a fish, I got a fish.
Find your country and the lender who can get you there. Find Louisiana Land Bank. Financing for country homes, recreational property, farms and ranches, and agribusiness.
And in your fridge super fast, which makes it fresh. Love that. And seriously delicious. Hey, if it's Borden, it's got to be good.
Mr. Gay, we're going to miss the morning bite. If you want food and snacks, we better hurry up.
I'll tell you what.
We have more than you expect.
At Blue Cross, we pay health care bills for more than 1 million Louisianians. When all is said and done, when everyone's been paid, and we pay the light bill, we put 2 cents of your premium dollar into emergency reserves and protect your health care dollar by working for affordable care. From aggressive to fighting government takeover of health care. Your health care dollar should go for your health. We're Blue Cross, and we're fighting for quality, affordable health care for you.
Hi, and welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. It's always a privilege, and I know Veterans Day, some of the older veterans, the World War II guys, some of the guys I know from Korea, they have a lot of experiences, and really they came back from the war and taught us all a lot about what we know today.
Well, they're good role models for all of us. I know it's something that's down there. It was
man.
clear bottoms. You could see the redfish down there. I had a spinner blade with a gulp that has been on there. It got hardened in its hardened form. It's been on there for at least 2 months, and I'm not taking it off. The fish is going to have to get that bait off.
What I told you about him being tighter, he started
Begins pushing shrimp out of the marsh system into the Gulf, and the fish seem to know this. They feed up on them as heavily as they can. A lot of the trout have spawned all summer long, so they're kind of depleted, and they're looking to put a layer of fat on for the winter. So it's
Given my energy bills.
Rates. Need help with choosing the right machine for the job? We'll guide and recommend the right machine to meet your needs. Remember, quality, reliability, safety. Aerial Access Equipment, your aerial work platform and forklift specialist.
Brian Harris Bass Pros are hooked on Chevy.
I've maintenance up, but never once had a problem.
I've got going on 115,000 on my Tahoe, and there's never been a slip of a transmission or any problem with the Chevy Tahoe at all.
If somebody's looking for a truck and they fish, why not? Mike Venom will give them a shot at a truck.
Brian Harris Chevy. Get hooked.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drop clean.
Hi, and welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. You know, and if you missed it last week, the biggest bass fishing event was right here in South Louisiana, Bassmaster Central Open. And for the first time that I can ever remember covering a tournament, it ended in a tie. Now, it's only ever happened twice in 40 some odd years of Bassmaster, okay? And those 2 times it happened this year in the Central Open. And spot in the standings, finished 3rd in the tournament, beat out some pretty darn good fishermen. And my boy from Pierreport is going to be in the 2010 Bassmaster Classic in Birmingham, Alabama.
Along with Greg Hackney.
Along with Greg Hackney from
It's
Louisiana.
like a college golfer playing in the Masters. You know, it's just amazing. I know how they feel. That's always every bass fishing kid's dream, to fish in that. So he has got to be extremely excited.
Well, I hope he's making enough money. He said he's got a good job and he's pretty happy. But, that top 7 finish now, only the top 2 guys from the point standings qualified for the Classic. But if you get in the top 7 on the Open, then you get an invitation to fish in there. Pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Considering the high water. What did you hear
High
about
water, it was tough, and it was even more surprising. We thought, and we were second guessing, what are they going to make the run to Catawatchie when there's been some big fish caught, and I'm sure some did, but some of the best fish were caught right close to home. That was even more surprising.
Baits. Big baits, like these big, half-ounce, 1-ounce tungsten baits. We had some guys catching them in Grand Lake. Arnie Lane, whose brother Bobby and Chris Lane have qualified for the Classic in the past.
They're like the foot on it. It's got a club foot on it. They're like a frog. They got the club foot,
well,
the rivet.
Tell you what, they were working. It's a gambler bait, and making it work. There were a lot of other
Similar
things.
to a sweet beaver.
Orlando, Florida, for the lead with Mark Smith, but then in the fish off Sunday, he caught almost 15 pounds. So, it was a heck of a tournament for him. He learned a lot. He said he didn't really want to say much because I think he's planning on coming here in 2011 for the Bassmaster Classic out of New Orleans.
Poor Mark.
But I think we know where he went.
Mark could have held on a little bit because his fish just played out on him. Man, did he ever say where he was fishing?
Fishing in Lake Verret.
Lake
On the
Verret.
Bell River side.
Yeah.
And he said he's used to muddy water. The water's muddy over in that area. He too was fishing, painfully slow, getting in there, flipping, isolated, heavy cover, just where you'd kind of expect the bass to be. Wade LeBlanc from Gonzales finished 4th. He put the co-angler winner pretty
6th,
well.
7th, 8th. Them Matt's almost family. I was really proud. I didn't even know he was fishing.
Well,
Zachary, I believe.
Yeah, terrific time to be there. I was just surprised about the number of fish. When you see conditions like that, water rising, lots of muddy water, Mark Smith said that he was maybe the only guy fishing muddy water. Everybody else said, look for a little bit cleaner water. Talked to some of the guys who went down in the wax. There were a lot of good fish caught down in the wax. Mixing right in that mixing water line, just like we all grew up doing. That's what they were doing. And the guy said, we'd go in there and we'd have 2 fish in the boat. And he said in 15 minutes we had a limit. So you just had to wait for the water to move, pull a little clear water out. They were catching spinner baits, a lot of edges of the grass beds, around the edges of the water house. She had a pretty good day.
That's the same thing we do for Sac-A-Lait with a small bait.
She was just doing it with a bigger bait. That's all.
That's
Power baits, and the Bass Pro Shop swim baits. So what did you think when you saw those fish coming?
Well, he did a good job bouncing back and catching the big limit. That was impressive. When he got back to the dock, he told me he had about 13, and I knew he would beat me weight-wise. I was just waiting to see the points and how the points would work out. A win is worth more than the money to me. So I guess we'll just wait and go at it next year.
That's pretty good. You know, the win is going to be worth like 45 grand here, and I'll trade you. I'll give you a win. You give me the 45,000.
Well, I got a check coming in every week from work, so it's not much, but it's money. But in bass fishing, it's a lot of it's about respect, and if you can get a win, that'll get you respect, and that's what we want. We want wins.
Okay, where'd you go? What'd you do?
I stayed in the spillway, slowed down, picked up a big pile flipping stick, ounce and 3/4 weight, and went to flipping. And I had a 4-2 yesterday flipping, and that's how I caught my 5 today. Just couldn't get a good limit. Just couldn't get a big bite today.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, you might see this guy in Birmingham, Alabama. Kevin Van Dam.
Let's do it.
You go take him on. Hey, from the Bell River Public Landing, we'll be right back.
Kids, they're quite the little know-it-alls. They tell you those are the wrong kind. That these can cut lighting costs by 70%. Then they go on and on about the time Dimco came to their school and taught them all these other great ways to save energy. And
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Mastercraft tires can do everything more expensive tires can do. With quality construction, dependable traction, and long tread life. They're built to handle anything. Like there is one place you'll feel the difference between Mastercraft tires and the more expensive tires. Mastercraft tires. Master the road.
Aerial Access Equipment has been serving Louisiana, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and Southeast Texas since 1998. Our trained sales staff has the expertise necessary to ensure our customers get the right piece of equipment for the job at competitive rental rates. Need help with choosing the right leads? Remember, quality, reliability, safety. Aerial Access Equipment, your aerial work platform and forklift specialist.
Introducing Powerade Ion 4, complete with 4 electrolytes lost in sweat. Powerade Ion 4.
Hi, welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. We're at Bass Pro Shops, but bass is not on our minds right now.
Not on everybody. We got the opening of duck season in the West Zone. Kids had their shot last weekend. They're going to get their shot in the East Zone, but it's open for everybody come this week.
In the field, and you know what you saw out in the western part, you know, Cameron Parish, up in lower part of Calcasieu, over in the Vermilion. Spotty, right, would be the best description.
No doubt about it. They're in the marsh and they're moving. For every day you hear one thing, and they were all excited 3 weeks ago until there. We went back 2 weeks ago. It was covered with teal, mostly blue wing. But in the marsh, Joe, down in Hackberry, the Hackberry Rod and Gun Club and all those guys down there that were taking youth out, all of them came back with limits of near. Some kids can't shoot as well, so that means how many ducks are there. They're all excited. When you get further up toward Wells, in that area, Lake Arthur, it's just mixed reports. I heard there was a lot of duck north. And then hearing more everything, Philip Boyd, they were covered up. They're usually this time of year, they still got rice to cut now, but they covered up this time of year with speckled bellies. Talk to Seth here. Seth, south of Gate on, they're speckled bellies. Mervis Sauceman, tell him there's speckled bellies all over and ducks all over toward him. Well, we was out the other day, they weren't there. They were there and they're gone. So, you know, I don't know telling. You know, you got to keep hope. JB Gibson, thank you, JB, for putting us up. We thought we was going to have to sleep in the truck there for a while. Every hotel, everything was full over there. That's how big this is over there. And so, JB, thank you. Naturally, I want to thank the Cajun Test Verde, the Elijah and Thomas Cotton putting it on together. Dirk was there. We got some with those kids coming from there. And Philip Boyd, like always, Dennis Kelly, Mickey Gidry, all the LSU players, some of his friends were in there. So thank all y'all guys for doing a wonderful job, and I'm sure of it, just like I did, than the kids did, because it is amazing to watch those kids do that, Joe.
You
But
know,
that's my report.
we got a report from Larry Averett.
Yeah,
Owen
down in
Language
Venice.
just showed up, and what I'm hearing from Passalute and Delta National Wildlife Refuge, 2 areas open to public good. The guys going down there try to scout a little bit for next week's, for Saturday's opener. Just not seeing that many ducks, you know, but Larry and Owen said that they're seeing ducks a little bit further
That gets
up
back
there.
to that term you spotty. There were a few ducks there, but overall, they're not covered up by any means. Now, what I've been seeing over the last few weeks, I did see a huge flock of scarp or dogries on Lake Bourne. Pretty strange. Over in the Biloxi Marsh, northern end, finally saw a few nice flocks of gray ducks or gadwall, but just a few.
A lot of water here. From all of those states, the lowest temperature I picked up on Friday and Saturday, was 41 degrees. Now, it was getting a little colder in the higher elevations, but that's not cold enough. The rain up there has forestalled the agricultural. It's wet and it's not cold.
And that's the same thing, Joe, up there in North Louisiana. They just cut the rice. That's why we postponed our trip. The goose season opened Monday up in the East Zone, and there were birds everywhere, but they were staying away from them. But they had to get in the field and
Well, this is my little friend. You know, this duck, you're probably not going to see this because these are on the East Coast. This duck was taken on a trip I made to Chesapeake Bay. We were hunting scoters and eiders, and of course, this used to be called the Old Squaw. And nobody will ever convince me that it wasn't political correctness that changed its name to the long-tailed duck. Now, this one's personal name was Flew Little Too Low, was the name of this one. And this, of course, means you got to get the duck stamp. This is the subject of this year's federal duck stamp. Long-tailed duck, make sure you have this, basic hunting license.
That must be a mixed breed duck. I like to know what it is. Look at the beautiful colors. It's got gray and white.
Well, this one's not quite in full plumage yet. It's still kind of in the molting stage, but it's a little gray.
Look on your duck stamp.
Yeah, look on your duck stamp, and you'll see
you
some
make
good
sure you
pictures
get
of
your
them.
duck stamp.
One of
That's
these.
your federal
Absolutely
duck stamp.
And then your state stamp, your HIP, which a lot of people forget, and of course your basic hunting license. You're going to be going out.
Well, when we come back, we're going to go to Southwest Louisiana to see what it looked like for the youth waterfowl opener last weekend. We'll be right back. We're at Bass. Looks like it's Christmas time.
Brian Harris Bass Pros are hooked on Chevy.
I put about 45,000 miles on my Suburban and just kept the general maintenance up, but never once had a problem.
I've got going on 150,000 on my Tahoe, and there's never been a slip of a transmission or any problem with the Chevy Tahoe at all.
If somebody's looking for a truck and they fish, why not come give Brian Harris, Mike Venable, and them a shot at a truck?
Brian Harris Chevy. Get hooked.
Together, oh, our hometown is blessed. Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
Central Hitch and Equipment Manufacturing Plant dealer inquiries are welcome. Hey, Tiger fans, what kind of trailer does Mike ride in?
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
I got a double back here, right here.
I got that one right there. I got that.
Good job.
You watch Paradise Louisiana.
Hey.
For guys, kidding is the highest compliment.
Hey, everybody look at Gabe, bringing back the V-neck. Well done. That top button is fighting for its life. I love the stash, but where'd you dock the steamboat? Hey, Steve, they make that shirt any tighter? Even Europe thinks...
And ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 150.
I'm all about things being fresh. My style, my music, and definitely my milk. That's why I love Borden. Back home in Texas, there must be something magical about those farms. Maybe their cows have more fun than other cows. So it's on the shelf and in your fridge super fast, which makes it fresh. Love that. And seriously delicious. Hey, if it's Borden, it's got to be good.
We're on the road to show people.
We've made a great product, even.
Shell gasolines contain a nitrogen-enriched cleaning system that seeks and destroys engine gunk left by lower quality gasoline.
It then acts as a barrier that protects engines from performance-robbing gunk.
Try nitrogen-enriched Shell gasolines.
Helping you get the most out of every drop.
Berkeley Abu Garcia fishing report. Guys, I wish I could tell you there was some offshore fish to catch, but you know, earlier this week, 25 to 30-foot seas with the hurricane. And we're talking about 10 to 12 footers, near shore area, just a big storm, you know. So what I would tell everybody is if you really don't feel comfortable about going this weekend, you might not want to make the trip. Let those folks, let that water get out of there. There's going to be some cleanup going on.
It might be the time to go.
Well, and I understand that because I know offshore areas, guys say go after a storm because it kind of scrapes all of those rigs and gets a lot of bait stirred up. So,
well,
I understand what you're saying.
It might not be as much debris.
The parishes, northern parishes are still running high with a lot of water. It's going to be very, very tough to tell anybody. Although, guys caught some fish over the weekend in that Bassmaster Central Open. So, spinner baits around a lot of places. They got in the back end of canals. We talked about it.
And everybody told me, somebody said, wait till November, and I'm waiting in November to make a trip, but I haven't got it.
Saltwater, you know where I'd tell them to go? I'd say go try Lake Pontchartrain.
If the winds are down, yeah, could be a good shot. It was great until the storm moved in and raised the tides up. Should be okay.
But north in the little lake and all the lakes in there, they're moved in. You can catch them you can catch school trout under a cork, or you can catch redfish at every run out when the tide's moving. You always be on the high side of the tide, and you somebody else catching. But I don't know exactly where it is. Whether it's a local reference, it's called a wildlife reference, and they fish off the bank. It's right off the highway between Hackberry and Holly Beach. They were fishing. They had went in their boat. They stopped. They were fishing off the bank. They were using dead shrimp, and they had a limit of redfish, 2 crabs catching on 2 turkey necks on the line.
Sound like they had the makings of a good cook out there.
Those guys' names we got some still pictures. There's Chad Prejean.
Okra and have a gumbo.
That's all you need.
Chad Prejean, Tyler Prejean, and Tyler Premo, spelled P-R-E.
Life and Fisheries Commission. Last week at the commission, the 7 folks there voted to reject the plan, the federal fisheries plan for state waters, and we're talking about for amberjack, red snapper, and some grouper.
Getting ready to protest this and make it official.
Well, the Recreational Sport Fishing Alliance has already filed suit in New Jersey over the sea bass limits, and I think that's going to start extending. I think we're going to start seeing that around the Gulf. There's a lot of cooperation among some groups that didn't really want to cooperate several years ago, who are now understanding that what some of us have been talking about for a long time is coming to pass. And I'm thinking, I mean, you will be a surprise next week. Thanks for being with us this week.
Might be
Remember,
going honeymoon again.
Bass Pro Shops,
You
man.
think going honeymoon?
It's not. I ain't honeymooning. I'm looking at that Christmas display over
You
there.
don't want to go honeymoon?
We'll be back next week. Thanks.
Blue Cross